Alice unexpectedly reincarnated on the day her parents got divorced. Her parents asked her to choose who she wanted to go with. Her sister Jessica actually gave up marrying into a wealthy family with their mother and fought to live with their poor father instead, only because she knew their father would become successful in the future. At that moment, Alice realized that Jessica had also been reborn, but what Jessica didn't know was their father's success could not happen without Alice's silent sacrifices. It turned out that in the previous life, Alice chose to live with her father and 3 older brothers. She not only dropped out of school to work and pay for her brother's education, but even for the sake of the family business, she had to accompany clients to dinner at night. With her help, her brothers and father achieved success. Alice thought she could finally enjoy life, but instead of being grateful to Alice, they actually hated her deeply. They gave all of Alice's credit to Jessica instead, and even gave Alice's chance to marry the son of the richest man. To Jessica, Alice was so angry that she vomited blood. She swore that if there was another life, she would never make the same mistake again. Maybe God also thought Alice was pitiful and actually let her be reborn on the day her parents divorced. Alice realized this was God giving her a second chance. Without hesitation, she chose to follow her mother and marry into the Shen family. Jessica provocatively said, "The Shen family isn't such a good place." Of course, Alice knew, but no matter how bad a wealthy family could be, they wouldn't want Alice dead. Soon after, Alice met the old madam of the Shen family. To her surprise, the old madam treated her very well, and even let her intern at the company. Nothing like the harshness Jessica had described, but the eldest brother, Anthony, was cold to her. What Alice didn't know was Jessica had already gone to him and told him that Alice came to the Shen family for money. So Anthony didn't have a good impression of her. The next day, Anthony took Alice and the second brother, Benjamin, to intern at the company. But since Alice had dropped out of school early, she didn't learn anything after a whole day of work. Benjamin was relieved that at least she made him look better by comparison. But when they got home, their stepfather punished only Benjamin. He immediately became upset, saying Alice had performed even worse than him. Their stepfather said Alice hadn't even graduated from college yet, so it was understandable if she didn't perform well. The old madam even gave a family heirloom necklace to Alice. She felt that the Shen family wasn't as terrible as Jessica had said. At that moment, her 3 biological brothers came to her and asked Alice to give the internship opportunity to Jessica. Alice had expected them to do this. She said the old madam could just add 2 more spots, so Jessica could intern with her. When her 3 brothers heard there was still 1 more spot, they immediately started fighting over it and left quarreling noisily. Alice revealed a proud smile, but Anthony happened to see this. He warned Alice not to use such dirty tricks in the Shen family. The next day, Alice saw the date. It was this very day in her previous life, when Benjamin was badly burned in an explosion. She hurried to find Benjamin, but Benjamin didn't treat her kindly and even said he would never acknowledge her as his sister. Seeing his attitude, she knew she couldn't just directly drag him away, so she quickly came up with an idea. She said she smelled gas. The manager was so frightened that he hurried to evacuate the guests. Just as everyone walked out, the restaurant behind them exploded. Benjamin was terrified afterward and immediately declared that Alice was indeed his real sister. He even warmly hugged Alice and brought her home. But Anthony asked Alice how she knew the restaurant would explode. Alice said she just happened to pass by and happened to smell the gas. Anthony didn't believe what Alice said. Just as he was about to keep questioning her, Benjamin walked in carrying fruit. So Anthony had no choice but to leave. First, Benjamin asked Alice what gift she was preparing for the old madam's birthday. Only then did she realize that the old madam's birthday was in a few days. So the next day, Alice went to the jewelry store to choose a gift. But just as she picked out a brooch, her 3rd brother snatched it away. Jessica said that this brooch was the one she had seen first, and that Alice didn't even have the money to buy it, because in the previous life, after Jessica entered the Shen family, she never had any pocket money. Alice said that she saw the brooch first, and it was a gift for Grandma. When the 3rd brother heard Alice dare to call someone else Grandma, he raised his hand to hit Alice. Luckily, Anthony appeared in time and grabbed the 3rd brother's hand. Benjamin aggressively asked them who they thought they were to dare hit his sister. Jessica was stunned. In the previous life, Benjamin had never treated her kindly, and now he was actually calling Alice his sister. The third brother told Alice to go home with him, saying no one was washing clothes at home anymore. Benjamin kicked the three of them to the ground with one blow. The third brother, afraid of the Shen family's power, didn't dare say anything more. Anthony couldn't believe it, that Alice's own family would treat her this way. He immediately signaled Benjamin to buy the brooch and left with Alice. The next day, Jessica and the eldest brother came to the company for their internship, but the security guards stopped them from entering. When the eldest brother saw Alice coming, he ordered her to explain to the guards that they were here for the internship. Alice pretended to be aggrieved and said that the old madam never actually gave out the slots. She was just afraid the eldest brother would force her to give the opportunity to Jessica, so she lied. When everyone heard Alice say this, they all stood up for her. Benjamin even told the guards to throw them out. But Jessica was full of schemes. She went to their stepfather and still got the internship opportunity. After starting work, Anthony personally trained the new employees. When the co-workers learned Alice was his sister, they were all extremely envious. Jessica said angrily that the Shen family didn't actually like Alice at all. She hadn't even spoken to Anthony before. But unexpectedly, Anthony walked right up to Alice and patiently taught her how to work.